Hi folks, welcome to today's process video, color process video. Yeah. So with last week's videos, tried, I experimented with editing out the various gaps and ers and as and things in the video, in my speech rather, and it worked out quite well. It shaved off a lot of time, and yeah, it just made things sound a bit more professional, I feel. But at the same time, it's incredibly time intensive, and I am stupid enough to leave making these videos until the very end of the week. So I'm like a I'm like a child on a Sunday evening before school is before school is oh my god. Yeah, so this is exactly the stuff I've been editing out. But yeah, I'm like a child on a Sunday rushing to try and get all their homework done that they should have done like days ago. Yeah, I keep putting things on the long finger. I'm really bad for that. Anyways, I'm rambling on. I'm rambling on. So today's comic. If you read the typed up process post, you'll know that this was a comic I drew when I was not able to get any sleep. For the most part, I could sleep through. World War III could be happening outside my window, and I could sleep through it. But every now and then, I get nights where I will just wake up and that's it. I just cannot get back to sleep. So I said, I wouldn't waste time trying to get back to sleep, so I'd draw a comic instead. So here's the final result. So with this comic, I didn't feel I really needed to do much in the way of color because a lot of the grunt work, as I'm very fond of saying, is done by the line work itself. Like there's a lot of spot blacks in this, and that fills in a lot of the space. I don't like, obviously that's something I don't need to color. And I find when you use a lot of spot blacks, a lot of heavy blacks in your work, it means you don't really have to put much effort. Maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I don't. You don't have to put much in the way of heavy rendering into the art to make it look good, because the line work does most of the work for you. Um, so really, in that case, it was just more me trying to get the atmosphere right. I wanted this to very much read as happening in the middle of the night rather than say in the middle of the afternoon or something. So I paid I paid attention to how I selected my colors there. So I mean, I went with fairly typical colors for the most part. For a lot of night scenes, I tend to go with blues or purples to kind of get across the impression of it being dark. I mean that's a very common practice across many cartoons and like comics and things like that. Um, I was thinking of having my character be the only aspect in the comic that wasn't, well, okay, apart from the yellow of the light coming through the window in the first panel. I was thinking of just having my character be the only thing in the comic that really stood out, as if he wasn't affected by the nighttime colors. But yeah, the more I looked at it, the more that stood out a bit too much. So instead, I went into, what is it in Photoshop? Yeah, I selected my character layer and I pressed Command U, Control U if you're using Windows. And what that allows you to do is there's a little checkbox down on the bottom right, I believe, of the window that says colorize. And what that does is when you tick that box, it immediately adds whatever color you have in the foreground color picker. If you look at the video right now, well, I'm sure you're looking at the video right now. But if you're watching the video right now, you'll see on the bottom left, you'll see the foreground color and background colors you can choose for. I'm rambling again. Anyways, yes, those colors. So yeah, the foreground color I chose a blue color, and when I hit colorize, what that does is it adds that hue to the layer you're currently on, or whatever selection you've made. So obviously that gave my character kind of a bluish hue, which kind of incorporates him more into the scene. And yeah, it just looks a bit more natural to me when it's done that way. Sometimes the like having characters look like they're apart from the darkness of a scene can work, but in this case, I felt I had to go that route with it. So other than that, there's not much else to tell really, because yeah, this was a fairly quick one to get done. So right, yeah, rather than holding you up, I will leave it at that, and I will see you at the next video. Take care.